You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Miriam and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Eastbound and Down After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Eastbound and Down After Show.
Alrighty, Powers Nation, unite. What's up, everybody? This is JC for AFTERBUZZ TV, and we've got the return of Papa Powers, Stevie getting a trim, and Kenny Powers and the 4th of July. But before we go any further, Bing is about doing, and what we're doing is another after show for, once again, AFTERBUZZ TV. Joined, as always, by my lovely Vita and April, Miss Kellie O.
Hello.
And, of course, in her jewel tones, Miss Miriam Gonzalez. Give it up for Miriam, my own Vita. And of course, in the back, we've got our part-time model, our standards and practices himself, Mr. Ronnie Jr. What's up, Ron?
What up?
Hello, everybody. I like this show, so I want you guys to bring it. That's all I ask.
Oh, it's Broughton Holmes.
Yeah.
You pay some close attention here.
Oh, we got.
And then you can comment on our iTunes.
That's right. Help us out, guys. Show us you care. Let us know. Make sure if you're watching us on or listening to us on iTunes, comment, subscribe. Let us know. We are actually one of the top shows here at AFTERBUZZ, so we're here to be number one, just like Kenny Powers is. So make sure you write.
And tonight you guys brought in a special, like a super fan of Kenny Powers. I mean, he's like a Kenny Powers freak. I mean, so you should at least introduce him. He happens to have a microphone, so you can say hello.
Oh.
How do you know that we didn't want to be that to be a surprise, Ronnie, man? I mean, why are you getting all up in it?
I ruin everything.
Why are you trying to be Ivan?
Yeah, way to go, man.
Why are you trying to be Ivan the Russian?
I ruin everything. Back to you guys.
You're like
actually Polish, not Russian.
All right, state your full name, guy on the couch.
Ready, set, go.
Thomas Pyland. I'm Polish, not Russian, so.
He's our honorary Ivan right now.
Yes.
I'm digging it.
And just for you fans back at home that have been following us, he's not Hank the Muscle. Actually, Hank is actually with Matt Damon. They're doing a little action comedy right now. Hopefully we'll get him back the next few weeks.
Yes, we hope so. But seriously, back to iTunes. Please log on, comment, download us. We want to make it to number one. We're in the top 5, but we need some help, you guys.
That's right, definitely. And if you guys are, let's say, from the future and you watch us on the intranet, check out Miriam and her jewel tones, Kellie. LA Dodgers for life. We know you're watching, so.
And my dear Jerry in New York, hey.
Definitely watch us. But hey,
Yeah, I know.
we spare no expense on the sound effects, but let's get to the show.
Oh, before we get to the show, I have a surprise for you.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
A Brazilian supermodel, but.
Presents. Enjoy.
Uh-oh, this is an AFTERBUZZ moment, guys.
It is.
iTunes, if you're listening, I have got this rectangular box. I don't know what it's got. It's some sort of contraband or maybe some Adderall like in tonight's episode. So here I am. I'm opening it now. Oh, dude!
The lid has been lifted.
Oh, my God.
Show everybody what you've got. Oh, check it out.
Oh, yes. I am so rocking this right now. It is a Kenny Powers mullet. And actually, if I grow my hair out, it's the same hair. It's when a Spanish man and a mullet collide. We call it a spamullet. So you've heard me talk about this.
have.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yes. I pinned it. I pinned it on Pinterest, and Miriam.
I had to take the initiative. I was like, if anything, if we are going to be your whore with a heart of gold and your lady for life, we have to make sure you look
We have
up.
to hook you up. We have to
hell
hook you
yeah.
up. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to tweet out a picture soon. So if you're listening on iTunes, just check me on Twitter.
I'm putting it on right now. I'm putting it on right
you
now.
put that on.
Recap while
Miriam's going to recap
All
us.
right, so last week we saw that Shane had passed away and Kenny was in some serious mourning. In that episode, we meet Shane's family and his twin brother. Oh my God, I love it. We meet his twin brother. We also find that Stevie cheats on Maria with with Shane's sister, and they wind up doing it at the funeral, which is kind of weird. And of course we have our in the car at the burial. So fast forward, we have Kenny is now thinking that Toby is my curse. He's cursed. And by the end of the episode, Kenny is now having these little fatherly instincts. He's starting to bond with the child. And so what does he do? He decides to read him a bedtime story. Penthouse magazine, nonetheless. So with that being said, it brings us into tonight's episode, chapter 18.
I'm rocking godlike hair, just like Mr. Kenny Powers himself. I love it. What's up, everybody? I'm Kenny Powers, and you're welcome. Sorry, I can't even rock it with the glasses. I'm fogging up the glasses. This is awesome.
Isn't
seriously, oh my God, like my mom will love me again. Thank you so much. This rocks. All right, but let's get to it. Yes, I'm doing the whole show
with the
spum.
with your spum mullet.
Yeah, Clairol, if you guys want to send us products so you can condition my wonderful hair.
Some Pantene.
Oh, hell yeah.
Don't worry,
curl
the picture
juice.
is coming on Twitter, you guys. I'm in the process right now.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's
Yes.
get into Papa Powers and Casper.
Papa Powers, Don Johnson, comes back and he shows up at Myrtle Beach with Casper. I love how they open the show with them like totally going into a little Mexican store and robbing it.
Yeah, no, like the fans like on the interwebs, they were all talking about when's Don Johnson coming back? Is he coming back? Question answered. Like, bam, it was like perfect.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, because remember early on in one of our predictions, we had talked about wanting to see Grandpa Powers come back and see what he was going to do. So, bam, here we are, and I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Once again, the walls are closing for Kenny.
Oh,
more
I
and more.
know.
Like, we've been getting that it's getting so dark and all this stuff that it seems like the world is just going to be on his shoulders, and he's got to hold the world up with his shoulders and basically grow up.
I think that it's going to get a little bit lighter. I think we have to see the storm before we can see the rainbow.
It's been raining for 2 seasons, girl.
Well, a season and a half.
Right. Okay.
A season and a
okay.
half. What goes up must come down, or what goes down must.
Well, and I think
you know what I mean.
And I
ain't
think
even touching that one.
I think we're gonna see Grandpa Powers for exactly what he's always been. I don't think it's gonna be any different than it was in Mexico. That's that's what I'm thinking.
So is there no hope?
I think that there's an ulterior motive. I think that that's where Kenny gets that part of his personality from.
Right.
And I just don't think. I think Kenny's at a place where he can still potentially change and evolve because he does have a good heart. And maybe when we meet his mom, we're gonna find out where that comes from.
Well, that's the thing. He definitely Don Johnson's character, Kenny's papa, goes out of his way to make it a point to prove that he has ulterior motive. He's like, I need you to find your mama. I seem to have lost her address.
Right.
He pretty much was like, in so many words, without putting the F-bomb out there, he was like, all right, Kenny, I need you to help me bang your mom.
He wants to make amends. That's the thing. He wanted to make amends.
Okay, so what happened to his wife? He's married still.
Well, remember back in Mexico, I think she was going to ditch him when he put Kenny in jail.
Well, she just wanted to have sex with Kenny though, too. So
Yeah,
that made
but
it
she
kinda
was
weird.
she was obviously the one with all the power back in Mexico. It wasn't him. So I think she kind of got tired of his antics and gave him the boot. And then, Casper went with him.
Now, can I ask you a question? Is there something truly, truly beyond special about Casper? I mean, he comes off as like he's normal a little bit, but then you see him like blazing, smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, maybe it's because he's high, that he's, his little doll, the negrita.
Yes.
It's so bad.
What is
But
this?
he's like supposed to be like 15, so there has to be something
But
special
that's some sort of
about him.
glandular problem. He's like 15 going on 43.
What did
Because,
Kenny
he's
call
supposed
him?
to be a little baby gorilla.
Yeah. Got his baby gorilla over here, like, wow.
He's
Okay.
a hairy guy, though. That's to say the least. A hairy
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, okay, so what's the difference between he and, let's say, Stevie? Because they are both, like, socially awkward. I mean, is there one that's clinical and one that's just socially off a little?
All right, so this is my thing. So you know how like Kenny pulls up to the house after he sees him the first time. He's like, "You need to go."
Right.
He pulls up to the house and they're sitting out front in lawn chairs. They're sitting drinking beers. When they stand up, Casper is like pretending to hold a baseball.
Yes, I noticed that.
He started
Yes.
like playing like with a baseball, but there was no ball there.
I didn't even catch that.
And that's why I was like, dude, something is way off with this guy.
Maybe he was rolling. I don't know. Maybe he was on ecstasy. I
You
don't
never know.
Mexican ecstasy. I don't know. I didn't catch the baseball thing.
Yeah, I saw when he was sitting there. I saw him doing that too. I caught that.
That's when I had that is he special moment. That's when it really became very prevalent.
Well, see, the interesting part now, deep down inside, maybe we're missing it, but I'm sure you guys are ladies, and ladies, they're smarter than I will say this. Kenny was protective of Toby.
Yes.
He was, when Don Johnson's character wanted to hold Toby, and Kenny's like, no, he's a child molester. Get him away right now. Maria, go back to your room. And
He's like, I'm not a child molester. And he was like, yes, he has sex with a lot of little boys. Get him out of here. Go, run now. Bye. Thank you.
Did you see the look on Maria's face? She was like,
She's,
holy cow.
terrified.
but that's a breakthrough. Kenny is being a dad.
He is.
Yes, we saw that a couple of times in this episode, which, I like. He still, was Kenny, but at least he stopped and had some thoughts as a parent.
Well, we've always said that he's going to do it his way, and that child is going to be quite the unique adult. When he grows up, just because, the first day of his being with Kenny, they committed multiple crimes.
Yes.
They broke into homes, and he was stuck in a backpack full of lettuce for half the day. So I'm telling you, he's trying. I'm on Kenny's side.
When he went to see his girlfriend in her dorm room, he just left Toby outside crawling
In the
around in
hallways.
the hallway.
Is he getting better?
No stroller,
No.
nothing. He's just there.
And my favorite was at the beach. They're sitting there in the sand and enjoying the rays. And all of a sudden, it's just like you see the baby and you see Kenny and a 40. And I was like, that is some strong parenting. Kenny, you my man.
But hey, at least he has Toby with him.
He does.
Is he getting better as a father?
Slowly but surely, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Slowly but
See?
surely. He's taking on the responsibility. I think it's he has no choice. He has no choice but to care for this child because so far everyone he's tried to pawn him off on is not taking him. So it's like either you water the plant or you let it sit there and die. And he's not going to let a child die. It is his spawn to begin with.
All right. Yeah, he did try to put him down the river, so when he had a change of heart.
See?
Which he said, when Grandpa was offering to babysit, he was like, I'd rather toss him down a well than leave you with my kid.
Well, I think Kenny was very, he was still resentful to his dad. One, for the way he treated him, for throwing him in jail. In fact, he even said that.
Yeah.
He's like, you threw me in jail.
Yeah.
Like, not cool. No, you're not allowed to touch my child.
You're not even allowed to be near me. He's like, you betray me and you get iced the F out.
So-
He's like, that's it. It's done. But there's something that obviously his dad wants, so he's not going to give up that easily because he is like Kenny in that way. He keeps going and going and going no matter what anybody says. So he keeps coming at him and he's finding different little ends.
He's manipulating him.
Yeah, he is.
So
Poor
what
guy.
you said earlier is Kenny's dad's not going to change, but Kenny might.
Exactly. That's what I think.
You don't think? You don't think they're going to tie it up as a bow like they... Please don't do what Entourage did. They tied everything up like on the last episode. They had all this stuff happen, and they tied it so neatly all in the last episode. I, as a fan of yes, it's dark, and it's almost unreal, but it still is grounded in somewhat reality. There are people that are like Kenny Powers that I even know.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they can't tie it so neatly like that everyone's going to end up happily ever after.
No, it has to stay a little bit messy
There's-
and crazy.
Yeah,
Because
which
that's
I
life.
think, even at the end of this episode when we saw previews for the next one, I think we're going to start seeing where it's going to, because it tried to make us think that it was going to come together nicely. At the end of this one, he's kind of has this camaraderie with his dad a little bit. But then when you see the previews, there's obviously some kind of altercation with them, so it might unravel itself back out again.
Right.
So I'm really hoping, and just kind of from past seasons, I don't think they're gonna do that, and I really hope that they don't. But we'll see.
Yeah, we've only got 3 episodes left, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How are they going to tie this all in? We're still waiting for April.
Yes.
What's going? She'll definitely be back.
I'm
Question?
hoping so.
I hope she would have to, right?
called the last
Yeah,
episode.
she called
Yeah.
that, but there was no reference made to her this time. So I'm hoping she comes back. I mean, I guess she doesn't have to, but it would be nice to
They're
see.
leaving us with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
So, with that said, we've taken care of the affairs of the heart, but let's move on to his playing career. Let's take care of 4th of July. That's right.
4th of July. What a good time to throw a party. Poor Kenny trying to throw the biggest party on the beach, and now he gets thrown back by the Russian.
Yes,
Our audience is laughing. We love it. So anyhow, he's like, I'm going to throw this party and it's going to be off the chain. He like sits at the table that he's uninvited to at the Merman's lunch.
Yeah.
And I love how they were all eating Chick-fil-A.
yeah.
I was like, I so want a Chick-fil-A right now.
I thought that was Chick-fil-A in this box for a second there.
Little presents. You never know next time.
But it was them at the table, and what is it? DJ Blu-ray versus
Ivan DJ Blu-ray versus
Yeah.
KP.
Was it KB Lenny Laserdisc or something?
He said, what's your DJ name? He's like, or because he said DJ Russian something, and he was like, DJ Blu-ray, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm Lenny Laserdisc.
Okay, so once again, I know we're moving on to the party and what's the planning of it, but I think it's still tying into Kenny as he becoming a father, a family man, that he doesn't quite fit in with the team anymore. He's a guy, his time, he's past his prime.
Yeah.
Ivan's the new gun. Everyone's, just by looking at the party itself, the way he was DJing, it's the stuff you see in Vegas and in a normal party.
Yeah.
Kenny's still stuck in 1987, which I'm going to bring up, that they were playing Over the Top when he was in the jet ski in his, the old Sylvester Stallone, arm wrestling movie.
Yes,
I was
when
like,
he drove the 18-wheeler.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. When I listened to it, I was like, what movie is that from? What movies? And then, of course, I'm a movie nerd. It was Over the Top. So I was like, once again, another 80s reference from Rocky IV to Star Wars. Now they're over the top this week. So it's just like the little nods. So see if the super fans can pick it up. So if anyone picked anything else up, tweet us, call us, let us know. Because I know there's so much stuff like what you guys said, like the baseball. I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, this is one of those shows that there's so many different layers to it. You
Yes.
have to see it more than once to really be like, oh yeah, I didn't see that part. So I have to say I was a little guilty when I got home earlier today from yoga. I caught the end of it. So I knew about the whole ending part. And I even at that point stopped and rewound a few times to gather what was going on. He walks into the 4th of July party and, his girlfriend Andrea is there.
Yes.
He is not happy about that. So what does he do?
Well, but she's not let's clarify, she's not at his party. She's at Ivan's party.
Yeah.
Because his party, nobody showed up to. There's a handful of people.
But
And
it was
a couple of grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the extras from Cocoon and Casper was getting a BJ. It was ridiculous.
That
At the VIP table.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the one chick with the black eye, I was like, what kind of party is this? It's straight up TPT.
Why do they do that? They're starting to do that now in every episode. The girl with the black eye. Last episode, Shane's grandpa with the Heinz bottle. Did we figure out yet why he had the Heinz bottle?
We need to figure that. And I think they're doing that more and more this season, where they are adding more and more layers to these episodes, and they are throwing those little things in the background. Just different posters on the wall, things on the table. Like when I told when Kenny's sister-in-law was changing the baby's diaper on next to a bowl of a plate of food, like those little random things that they're doing. I think they're doing that a lot more now.
What are you calling this, the redneck matrix?
That hat is killing me right now.
He's awesome.
What's wrong? That's right. As Kenny Powers would say, I piss excellence. That's
I
quote.
freaking
Excellent.
love it. I
No,
love it.
No, but and then of course he and Casper. It reminded me of season 1. Every little tie-in. Season 1, episode 2, when he goes to the little party for the little kid who had cancer. And what was he? Was he rolling or something? He showed up with Clegg. And they show up to the party. He's like, drugs work. And I was expecting that big moment of where he was going to take over the party. And he tried and he failed. But what he did was he got Casper and they started shooting the Roman candles at the people. And that's when the fizz hit the shan.
4th of July up in the club. I mean, when he took out the Roman candle.
He did invite everyone to a fireworks show, you guys. He was just keeping his word.
But you know what? In all that, we were laughing our butts off when it happened. But it really was
dangerous.
No, dark.
Yeah,
'Cause he
was
failed-
trying to
he's
hurt
failed at
people,
everything.
So he's like, "F you guys," and he's shooting them basically.
Because Ivan even said, "F you, Kenny Powers." And
so he turns around, and I love how his cane, his walking stick or his cane he had was a lighter. And that's what he starts lighting them with, and then he blows it out, and it's like.
it becomes very apparent that Kenny's confidence and self-esteem is really now hitting an all-time low. You know, his party sucks. He's dressed up as Uncle Sam, which I thought was cute. You know, with his walking cane, he shows up to Ivan's party. He thinks that everyone's gonna follow him because he's used to people being like, "Oh, Kenny," like the Stevies of the world.
Right.
And it doesn't happen. He's like, "I'm Kenny Powers," and it's like silent.
Well, at one point he was a big deal, and it's really setting, sinking into him now that he's just not.
No, and then he falls on his face. I felt so bad for him.
Metaphor for the whole thing.
I know.
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly. He trips and falls, and that's what he's been doing this whole series. He's been tripping and falling over everything.
Yeah.
So is he ever going to realize once again that baseball, he gets his validation from baseball, from what he does, from the persona, from the mask. Where is he going to get that validation? Is he going to get it finally from himself of who he is? Will he ever learn?
I don't know, but I like how he says to, I think he's going to do it as he said to Stevie, handle it like a baller.
That's right.
He's going to handle it like a baller. He's going to, pick himself up, and we'll get to that point as we get towards the end of this episode where, he starts to feel like I have a second chance or a third or fourth or fifth for him.
Right.
And I think that, he's going to slowly pull it together. Just a little bit.
Yeah, because all he has really is Stevie, and Stevie doesn't even have himself now. So what's going on with Stevie and Maria?
Oh, Stevie and Maria. This is the battle of all battles. I used to tell friends this years ago when I was in high school, deny, deny, deny till you die, die, die.
Yep.
Take that to the grave.
That was his quote.
That was his quote, yes.
Take it to the grave.
Take it to the grave.
So to the point where he slapped him. Don't you dare tell her. What's wrong with you?
So, Stevie's now conflicted. He's like, do I tell Maria? I need to tell Maria about me cheating on her. And I like how he nonchalantly does it, too. He's like, baby, you're beautiful. Baby, I love you. I cheated on you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. No, I cheated on you. And she has a step back moment. Like, is he for real? But he said it twice. Mm-hmm. And he's such a good guy. And that's the thing. Good guys don't cheat. Good girls don't cheat. Stevie's not supposed to cheat. And even Kenny says it to him. He's like, you know what, Stevie? You are not me.
Yeah, no, what did he say? He didn't say like why. It's like, how did it happen? Like he couldn't believe. Like
I couldn't fathom it.
How'd it happen? Like
Yeah.
really?
Well, and he told him, he said, you don't have the emotional capacity to handle the guilt of what you did. And that's true, because Stevie's not that way. As much as he tries to be like Kenny, he's not a mean-spirited person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not so much that Kenny is necessarily a mean-spirited person. I think he just uses that as a defense mechanism. He just doesn't want to feel anything. Right. And I think that's kind of what has always made his character so unique. And I think that's one of the lessons that I personally think from watching that he's going to learn is that he can't treat people the way that he does. Like he's been a jerk to Ivan this whole time for no real reason, just because he's better than him. That's the bottom line. Just because he's
younger,
better and younger,
he's faster
than him, and so
not
he's just,
so hot. I'm not really digging his haircut.
his haircut.
I'm like, what is that?
I think I take the mullet over his haircut.
Does it go into like?
Of course you do, because it's sexy.
Yeah, it's
sexy.
So sexy.
Like, can he
now.
spike it into like a mohawk or something? Like, what is that? I'm not sure what to make of it. It's
I think we talked about it.
It's like the bad version of dreads.
It's like the bad bowl cut.
Oh,
it's like his mom put a bowl on his head and and
it's
then
a
he turned
mullet. A mullet. There we go. No, but I don't know. The baseball with Ivan. I just don't think it's. I don't know if Kenny's gonna learn. I mean, that's at his core, even more than April. And it's even though this is wrong for me to say, but baseball is Kenny.
Baseball is Kenny.
That is
Kenny is not anything without baseball. He's gonna have to learn now to be something more without it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you notice how his dad was not encouraging him to do that, to try to be something else. That speech his dad gave him was pretty crappy if you really think about it, because he was basically telling him to do what he did, which he's like, oh, so you feel like your family's dragging you down and you can't do what you want because you have this family here that you don't feel you'll ever be good enough for. So why don't you just give him to somebody else?
Yeah, he figures that Kenny's closer to in Kenny's mind, he's closer to the baseball dream than the actual reality of April and Toby, or just Toby. And so Kenny took it. Hook, line, and sinker, and of course the dad just wants to
see the mom.
Yeah, so
he just wants to get back and
Little slap and tickle.
Okay, I don't know if that's a reference from last week's episode with the Maria and Stevie with the with the dildo. Okay, but on a serious note, I want to talk about that when Maria exploded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she
That
went
was
full
so
on
real.
Hispanic woman on his ass.
Yeah, she did.
Sorry.
But it wasn't funny at all.
No,
No.
she was crying, emotional. She was, hitting him, and that was a real reaction.
Yeah, out of any moment, in the last 3 seasons, I think that is probably one of the top 3 moments of just, it's not a comedy. It is this gritty, and it was raw, and she went there, and I thought it was a beautiful scene between the two of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that drove, I thought Stevie was gonna commit suicide.
I thought he was
That's
too.
what I wrote.
I thought he was too with the razor blade.
I did. It was a scary moment when he's in the bathroom and he's crying after looking for Maria after this whole big fight because he confesses to cheating on her, and he's in the bathroom. There's a razor blade, like a regular shaving blade, and then there's the old school go to the barbershop blade.
Yeah.
And he picks that up. So of course, naturally, the first thing on your mind is, oh my God, is he going to take his life? Because this is the only woman that he's ever loved and that will ever love him.
Ouch, but true.
I
Ouch,
mean,
but true. And
call a spade, dude.
well, Stevie's kind of sexy.
Well, yeah, now that he looks like Kojak.
Well, he went Britney Spears instead.
And he took off the eyebrows
And he
too.
shaved his
That was
head.
just
He
wrong.
went all crazy, wacky Britney Spears. Instead of committing suicide, he shaved his head and his eyebrows.
Did you look at Kenny's reaction when he saw Stevie for the first time? I didn't know if it
What
was...
did Casper say to him? Did you get cancer?
This show makes no apologies. It will go there. I don't know what other pocket they could offend because they
offend equally everyone.
I think that's why they make the characters so special. You know what I mean? Like Casper is special.
So he's the only one that can get away with
saying that. Kenny's douchey, so he gets away with saying douchey stuff. Stevie's, awkward and nerdy and uncomfortable, and he gets away with saying his very odd things because it's that's what you expect from characters like that, from people that act that way or have that type of specialness.
Kick them in the balls, hug them, and then kick them in the balls again.
That's right. Elizabeth said it best. Elizabeth Durazo said it best.
Yeah, so I just don't know. I think it's going too dark for me. For me, I'm wondering when is it going to turn around because just everything. Even now he's lost Stevie. I mean, are Stevie and Maria Maria, did she go back to North Carolina?
Or did she go back to Mexico? I mean, that's where her family is.
Well, I think it's not going to be so easy for her to just track back to Mexico, considering she was smuggled over the border. So I think that when it comes to Maria, she probably went back to Shelby County and was like, you know what, I'm going to
who? But where would she go? Who would she turn to?
Dude, she probably stole the truck.
They took
the truck back. Kenny has no truck. He has no ride.
She finds a way.
I mean, seriously, give Kenny something. What does Kenny have?
He's got the 3-wheeler.
Yeah, he has a 3-wheeler and the jet ski.
Yep.
And his beachfront property.
I meant more so you guys answered it like Kenny would. I was thinking Toby and maybe
Oh, we're trying to get deep here? Sorry.
like the bucket. I'm sorry. Wow. We're heading in a lot of trouble, guys, but let's take a little quick commercial break and come back with some of the hottest tweets about Kenny Powers and his wonderful powerness, and we can talk about what product I should use on future episodes after the break. After the break.
AFTERBUZZ TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
All right, don't adjust your set. That's right. I'm kind of like Kenny Powers, but olive tone. Think of me. I'm like, I am Tom Cruise. I have him inside of me. There we go. A little quote from last week. All right, let's get into any cool tweets that you saw about Kenny effing Powers and
AfterBuzz TV News.
Everybody is loving the show. I mean, I see a lot of people that are saying that it's gotten a little darker, but one of the most trending right now about Eastbound is people are loving, which we didn't even bring up yet, Kenny's mother. Kenny's mother at the end of the episode could not have been cast more perfectly, in my opinion, is the fantastic Lily Tomlin. To see Lily Tomlin and Don Johnson as Kenny Powers' parents going head to head. Fantastic casting, I think. I think it's freaking fabulous. I cannot wait.
And you can't tell me that each of us weren't on the edge of our seats trying to figure out who the heck was Kenny Powers' mom. The second they brought up that he was looking for the mom, I was like, I wrote down, I'm like, who's his mom?
Who could it be? Who could it be? Perfect. As soon as she turned around, I think I screamed out loud. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, so I guess we can figure out who's Kenny most like the mom or like Don Johnson. That's the big question, the $64,000 question.
Well, I like her response when they're like, Powers, telephone for you, and she's like, blah blah blah, F-bomb this that, and she's freaking out, kind of like Kenny would. Mm-hmm. So,
but she automatically apologized for it after.
That's
just
right.
like he does. Like he has a tantrum and then apologizes. And that's what she did.
Speaking of tantrums.
Oh, the tantrum that he threw. Can we please talk about that for a second? He threw a tantrum like a 5-year-old child to the point where he shook his fist, kicked his feet, and then put his hand under the cushion of the couch.
Frankly, I don't see anything wrong with that. A man is just trying to get in touch with his emotions. And, just like I'm a mobile cellular device, I don't have anyone to talk to.
But it's not like he ran out of the room. It's not like he went and, slammed a door. He picked up the couch cushion and hid under it with the whole rest of his body sticking out.
I understand what you're saying, you being a woman and all, and being in touch with your emotions. But like I said, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. So
who does that?
Kenny effing Powers.
Apparently.
That's right. And you're welcome. No, but yeah, keep tweeting us, guys. Let us know what's going on in the Kenny Powers world. And we promise to bring you some more news and gossip next week for sure. But let's get into predictions. We're down to the last 3, guys. What's going to happen to Kenny effing Powers?
I think that Kenny is going to try and pawn his child off on his mother for a short time.
Okay.
I think he's going to pawn him off so he can pick up the pieces to what's left of his career. And I think he's going to make it another effort there. He's going to give it a go.
In baseball. So he's going to get it. Okay. I agree with you to that point, but he's going to try the baseball thing, but he's going to fall flat on his face. And he's got to come to realize it's time to be a dad. And it's time to be Ken Powers.
Oh, no.
Oh.
You dropped the why.
Ken Powers.
No.
Kenneth Powers. I told you he's going to be a priest. I said it since episode 1. He's going to be dad of the year and a priest. Kelly, what do you think is going to happen?
Okay, well, I agree with you guys to a certain extent. Yes, I think that he is going to try for a second to kind of pawn Toby off on his mom. But as we've seen before, he can't do it all the way. He lets people babysit, but he can't really let go of Toby. So I don't really think that that's going to – I think he's going to go back and forth with it. Plus, we're going to see that his dad is just being a jerk and trying to use that – for the same kind of crap that he did to him in Mexico. But I also think he's going to soften up a little. I think he's going to realize that he can't be so Kenny effing Powers all the time. And he's going to have to tone that down a little bit if he's going to want to make his baseball career be what it used to be or any version of that. I think he's going to have to chill out a little bit.
I wonder if he's exhausted at the end of the day just by being him.
I'm
I'd be
just
tired.
You would think so.
That's a whole lot of pent-up energy.
I'm just exhausted with this freaking hair that I got to twirl around.
I love this hair right now.
Definitely. So now you got it, guys. This is it. That's another episode for Kenny Powers and Eastbound and Down. Catch us next time. Now, Kelly, where can they find you?
You can tweet me at Kellie with an IE079.
And Miriam G.
You can find me at Miriam L. Gonzalez with Z's.
And for Ronnie Jr. Ronnie, where can they find you, buddy? He's in the booth.
They can find me. They can find me at Ronnie Jr. Media.
And Couch, one more time. Hank the Muscles, part 2. Where can they find you?
At Thomas Guide.
And once again, nice. And I'm the Everyday Man, and we're all AfterBuzz TV. See you next time, and you're effing out.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.